everybody, it is Christine. It is time for a scrapbook process video, and this is a design team video for the scrap room. I don't know which video is going up first, so I'll just tell you again, so if you've heard it before, sorry about that. But basically, I did guest design for the scrap room in May, and then Miss Rochelle had a design team call, and of course I applied because I had been a subscriber for a really, really long time, and I just adore this kit, this collection, or this monthly kit club here. And I was excited to be selected for the design team. So it's like a dream come true. So what I'm working with, I'm going to show you guys, because the flavors of the month is kind of your main option from a kit's perspective. And with each flavors of the month, you get 3 pieces of paper, 2 cardstocks, and some embellishments. And then I did start getting the embellishment add-on and the pattern paper add-on. So, but I'm going to try to stay away from these only so that you can see what you can do with the kits as they come, like the basic one. So this is what I have, and then these little pieces here. So again, you get like a little sampling of each collection, which I kind of love this because I'm going to be honest, I've gotten stuff from her and then decided to buy the full one. Usually it's been a Vicky Bouton or something like that, or 49 Markets. So yeah, she's definitely an enabler in that way. But this is the options I have this month. Let me see. I got stars and suitcases. What is this? Oh, a little postage stamp. And this is probably a little matte pen. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, so that's what we've got going on here from our ephemeris. It's hard to see maybe on here, but that's okay. The photos I have, I got into my, I had another one, you guys. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. This is actually from my pictures that we took. We went to London back in like 10, 12 years ago now. I have to go back and look at the date. I think it was 2012. Oh gosh, that says 13 years ago now. Anyway, this is my daughter. We had landed. This is in the London airport. I have this photo too, but I don't know if I'm going to use it on this one. This is actually when we were going to Manchester. So I may set that aside because I just think this is funny. Like I was taking her picture. She's like, don't take a picture of me. And I thought this was so cute and so funny. So I'm thinking, I have to tell you, I love this piece of paper. I just think that is so pretty. And I think I'm going to like use this some kind of way. I do have this blue cardstock, so I'm kind of thinking I would love to, I don't want to use the florals, I don't think, with this. I think I might do something with this, like this, because the other thing you can kind of do with these, you can cut these apart and like scuff them or something like that. I may trim these down just a hair, so, because I kind of want them to fit here, but they may have to come down just a little bit. I may cut off like this. Maybe a little bit of the shorts or something. I kind of want to leave this here because that to me looks kind of like an airport. Like you can tell what it is, right? So, and I think I might use this and maybe I'll frame it with the blue because that's pretty to me. So let me do a little bit of paper cutting and I'll be back on in just a moment and we'll see what I can do. Okay, what I decided to do was I'm going to cut this essentially kind of in half. It's not straight, the middle part's not a straight up and down type deal. So I'm going to come along here and cut basically half though. I'm going to cut along a couple, what are these, vectors? I think they're called vectors maybe, or pinwheel pieces. I don't know which one to call it. I'm going to cut there and then I'll pull out my fussy cut scissors because I kind of want that little round thing, which in the end that was kind of dumb because I do cover it, but still I didn't know for 100% sure at that point what was going to happen. So I do cut the little round thing out. And then I decide to cut between every other 2 or whatever you want to call it. So every 2 lines is what I'm going to end up cutting. I did trim my photos down, or if I haven't yet, I will, by a 1/2 inch. So they're going to end up being 3.5 by 4.5. I'm going to trim this little piece of paper down here a 1/2 inch, and then I will gut the blue. So I'll save that cardstock that's in there. Initially, I thought I might mount my photos with it, and then I decided no, white's going to look better. So I'm going to end up using white cardstock to gut those photos. But I will have this little piece of blue cardstock here to go with the rest of the leftovers here. I have plenty, honestly, even without my pattern paper add-on, I have enough at least for one more layout anyway, and which I do find that with these kits. I usually can at least get 2, if not 3. I've got this new series I've started that you'll see, I don't know, sometime here in July, and it's called Let's Have Leftovers, and it's essentially my leftovers from these scrap room kits, most of them. Now, not all of them were scrap room, but most of them kind of are, and so I usually find I can get at least 2, if not 3 layouts, so that's what I'm going to keep my little blue cardstock for. So here's where I made the decision to cut between every other 2. And what I'm going to do, I thought I might kind of scuff them, but I decided against that. I'm actually just going to use some foam tape or foam squares up under every other two, so that lifts every other one and gives it a nice little shadow or whatever. But you'll see that in just a second. So for the moment, I don't know if I should have kept all this in here. I might should have edited some of this out, because you can kind of just see that I'm cutting every other one. And I'm not going all the way the tiny circle, because I also know that I'm going to put, this is where I'm kind of making sure I'm not crazy. I'm not going, wait, do I want to do two? Yes, I do want to do. I was a little bit late. I mean, I could have done every one if I had to, but I was trying to just do two because I wanted to use the foam squares. And so here's one. I'm gonna put the little foam squares in here. And I just put one under each one. I don't want it to be like crazy high or anything like that, but you can kind of see what I've done. I've just got one foam square for every other two, and that's gonna go there. I'll use my fingernail eventually. I think that's gonna still be in the video, but I'll just really lightly kind of curl the edges. I didn't want it to be overly scuffed though, because I thought this is a little bit of a clean layout, just the way I do it. So I kind of like how this turns out. And then I've got my two photos, and I kind of love this. I'm not gonna lie, these photos to me are so cute. I mentioned that in the intro. I think they're funny. I love, honestly, how the pinwheel pieces or the vectors or whatever are coming out from that photo where she's got her hand up. So it's almost like it's almost cartoonish or like comic bookish in my mind, like a, you know, wham bam kind of deal or something. I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like she's put her hand up and her fingers are kind of going the direction of those those vectors or whatever. So I thought that looked really neat, actually. The effect is kind of cool in my mind. I decided I had Getaway in my little bits of embellishments here, so that's going to be the title. And then I do have that little like tag. It's like a rating thing. You have like 1 to 5 stars. It's got like a destination, this, that, and the other. I'm going to put that up there. And then the left side down there, there's just a few little pieces. There's a little suitcase. There's a little camera. And then there's that little foam phrase that just says, traveling's my therapy. I need lots, or something like that. I'm going to put that at the bottom of the photo. And then, what am I doing there? Oh, this is for the little map pin. I decided to put the little map pin over the top of the little ticket tag thing. I'm gonna have to use glue though. It is not sticking. I don't know what the deal is. It's like the little frame of the foam dots is just not sticky at all. So I'll have to use a little bit of Nuvo. I'm looking at that going, am I missing up? I thought maybe I had the wrong side or something. No, it's just not sticky. So I use a little glue. Have to grab my tweezers because it's so skinny, and stick it on there. And then that's gonna go on the top of that little tickety thing. I think I was saying, I will put the journaling on there, but basically this is, we had landed, it was an 8-hour flight as I recall. We'd gone from Dallas to Chicago, and then Chicago to London. I say London, I think it was the Manchester airport actually. My apologies, it was actually Manchester. And we landed there. Oh, you guys, I have to do a layout. I don't have any photos or anything because they made me delete them. I got in so much trouble. I traveled internationally before, but never like for pleasure, I don't think. Don't get me lying, I can't swear on it, but it was definitely before phones where you could take pictures. So we were in line for customs, and I'm over here going, hey, let's take some pictures. You are not supposed to take pictures in the customs or the line where you're coming in with like your passport and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, they got so mad. And there was a sign, but it was around the corner. I didn't see it. So yeah, I definitely got in trouble. They made me delete all the pictures I took, which is funny to me because in my head I'm thinking, we're just standing in line. Like, I guess the point is I didn't want you to see their quote procedures, but I'm like, we're just standing in line and you're going to hand a guy your passport. I don't know what procedure is so secret, but okay. And like nobody could have had a hidden camera in their buttonhole. Anyways, that was kind of funny. I don't have any photos, obviously, to document that, but I do have that that board, the thing with the times on it. So maybe I'll use that photo as kind of a impetus behind the story or something like that. That could be funny. But these photos where we had just landed and she was trying to mess with her hair and I was like, I want to take a picture. And she's like, I don't want to take any more pictures. So yeah, she stuck her hand up. It was kind of funny. But anyway, I got the little suitcase and I got the little camera. I put the little camera up on foam. There's a little blue star I glued down there. I used basically almost everything. I didn't use the bicycle. I didn't use the thing that says seeing the sights. There was some of those little metal faux button looking things or enamel things over there. I didn't use those either. I'm kind of saving those because I do still have enough paper for more layouts and I didn't want to use literally everything I had. So I'll come back and use on another layout. That's where I was using my fingernails to kind of curl up the edges of those things. And then I realized I had used the foam to kind of stick that thing down, but I never did glue down the papers that wasn't with foam squares. So I used my little Nuvo glue there. And that is what I've got, you guys. I think this turned out really cute. I love it, actually. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll have links below to the Scrap Room's Facebook group and the website. So again, this is the flavors of the month. This is your basic kit. It comes with 4 different little collections. This just happens to be one of those 4. I will have another layout for a second one. Frankly, I'll probably have all collections. I usually use them anyway. So keep your eye out, and we will see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all the good too. We'll see you soon. Bye.